welcome you all to our February STEM for Success chat. Thank you again for everyone that was able to take our post survey this past month. We took everyone's suggestions, comments into consideration when thinking about our future speaker. And we heard from a lot of you that you all wanted to hear from someone that was in engineering, right? And we're very delighted to bring you today someone that is not only one of our Latinos and technology scholars, but he's also studying engineering. And he's here to share his academic journey and college system journey with you all. So it is my pleasure to introduce you all to Miguel Montalvo. Welcome, Miguel. We're very excited to have you here today.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. It's great to be here at the STEM for Success Scholar Chat. My name is Miguel Montalvo, and I am a first-generation college student. I am originally from El Salvador, and I moved to California 5 years ago with the opportunity to pursue my passion in education in the STEM field. A little bit about me. I worked for a year when I got to the US before I enrolled in community college. After 3 years in community college, I transferred, and now I am currently a student at UC Berkeley, where I am majoring in engineering physics. At Berkeley, I am part of a Latinx club for students pursuing physics. And this semester, I joined an aerospace engineering club where I will be able to explore a few of the projects that they have, like high altitude balloons, CubeSats, and lunar autonomous rover. I also have experience with 2 separate research opportunities in astrophysics, one with UC Santa Cruz and the other with the National Radio Astronomy Observatory, where I did research in computational astrophysics. One working with simulations to better understand dark matter, and the other one working with ALMA observations to produce and analyze images of a galaxy. These research opportunities have been a great opportunity to experience what my job would look like when I finish my studies.
You're so involved, Miguel, and I think it's amazing that you're sharing a little bit about yourself, and we're going to dig in deeper into all of these experiences that you just mentioned and more about your STEM journey. So the first question that I did want to ask is, why did you choose engineering, especially engineering physics, as your major, and really what are your plans after graduation?
Well, ever since I was a kid, I've loved nature, and I have always been interested in why things work the way they do. And when I was in school, I learned that the sciences help you figure that out, how nature and the world function. So when I was attending high school in El Salvador, I was able to get a certificate in accounting with my high school diploma. And for a while, I thought that I wanted to go to college and study accounting and getting a CPA. And while I did enjoy accounting, I knew it was not my passion. So I decided to go for what I really enjoyed, even when I knew that it was going to be difficult in El Salvador to pursue a career in physics. There was very little funding, and there still is very little funding for the sciences and not a big job market ahead. But I still wanted to shoot for the stars with the hope that I could finish my degree in another country if necessary. And I was fortunate enough at the time that I was able to come to the United States as a permanent resident. I knew this was the opportunity that I needed to follow my dream and pursue physics, and that's what I did. One day, I hope to go back to my country and help to promote the physical sciences, inspiring high school students to learn about the possibilities in STEM paths. While there are not many opportunities in El Salvador, I still want them to know they can still follow their passion and be successful. And as a first step in that goal, I will be joining the Central American and Caribbean Bridge in Astrophysics program, which provides research opportunities and mentorship to undergraduate students interested in astrophysics that are located in Central America and the Caribbean. Postgrad, I hope to either pursue a master's in aerospace engineering or a PhD in astrophysics. But before I decide, I want to explore more the engineering side of my major, because the past experiences that I've had they were both in astrophysics. But my ultimate goal is to one day work for NASA.
Yeah, and I think it's amazing, Miguel, from what you have already stated. You really did shoot for the stars, literally. So it's really great to hear that you decided to follow that passion of yours and be one step closer to working at NASA, like you mentioned. And I think it's also very, very humble and inspiring of you to, already have that mindset that, you're going to go back to El Salvador and you're going to help other students follow that similar path as you. So you're literally paving the path for other Latinos to also follow, that STEM journey. So our next question for you, Miguel, is, what are some of the challenges that you face as a Latino student in STEM, and how did you overcome these challenges?
Well, finances have been the greatest struggle for me since starting university. Due to my family's financial status, I had to stop attending school in El Salvador in order to start working and help provide for my family. After a couple years, I was fortunate enough, as I mentioned, to come to the US as a permanent resident. But in order to go back to school, I still had to work for another year to be considered a resident in California and be charged in-state tuition. And so, as I mentioned before, I had to start all over in community college, totaling 5 years since finishing high school to starting again my career here in community college. That did not stop me though. I was determined to finish my degree, and when I enrolled in community college, I continued working in order to pay for school and to continue helping my mom in El Salvador. I remember I would have class from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. and then work from 3 p.m. to midnight. And that was every day from Monday to Friday. I wouldn't have time to go to bed until like 1 a.m. And I still had to manage to make time to do homework in between my busy schedule. I would sometimes be doing homework at my job during breaks or during lunch. However, all of my hard work has paid off because this year, for the first time since I started working 7 years ago, I don't have the need to work so I can fully focus on my academics. And this is because I have received financial aid and scholarships from UC Berkeley, and also the Latinos in Technology scholarship from the Hispanic Foundation of Silicon Valley, and the Kennedy King Scholarship. And just like these scholarships that I received, there are plenty of other financial assistance options available. So if your main concern when it comes to going to college is money, know that there is plenty of free money out there. The second greatest struggle I think I have faced as a student in STEM is the feeling of self-doubt and imposter syndrome. Being Latino and studying a field with little representation of people who look like me has enhanced this sense of imposter syndrome. When I first go to college, I believed that my peers were more intelligent than me. And as a first generation college student, I didn't feel like I fit in. The majority of students in my classes are white or Asian. And when I don't see other students or professors who look like me in the classroom, I think maybe this place isn't meant for people like me. But know that you have to fight against those self-doubt thoughts. Find your community of support to help you and keep working hard. You are meant to be here. And even if you are not represented right now, you will be the representation for others to come in the future.
I love everything you just said, Miguel. You are meant to be here, and that is so powerful. And I really hope that every student on this call remembers this, that you are meant to be here and you are building that representation. And, you always have to look back and continue uplifting others like you are today, Miguel, sharing about your journey. And also thank you for sharing about all the challenges. You've overcome so much, and we know that you will continue to succeed and accomplish so much more. Our next question for you is, what excites you about your major, and are there any projects that you are currently working on that you would like to highlight?
Well, my major is exciting when it comes to the future. Aerospace and astrophysics is the next step. Outer space in general has always been very exciting to me. Growing up, I would spend hours watching YouTube videos and documentaries about space, stars, the galaxies, and new discoveries. And since starting college, I have the opportunity to be a part of two exciting research projects, which have enhanced my passion for physics and engineering. The first one I mentioned before was with UC Santa Cruz, and this was not easy to get, especially at community college, since there are not many opportunities for research. But it's important that you look for those opportunities specific to community colleges where you might have a better chance to be accepted. And that's how I found this research opportunity at UC Santa Cruz. The research project was intended to bring more representation to astrophysics of Latinx, African American, and other underserved communities, like even being part of the LGBTQ community. And it was great, not only because I got real life experience in astro, but also because of the community I gained. The administrative coordinator of the program has been supporting me ever since I started the research project 2 years ago. And the professor who actually started this program has written me plenty of recommendation letters for when I've been applying to other research opportunities. And the second research opportunity was with the National Radio Astronomy Observatory. And with this opportunity, I was able to go to West Virginia to the Green Bank Observatory and get on the Green Bank telescope, which is the largest steerable radio telescope on Earth. These telescopes take information from the stars that I've used in the astrophysics research that I've done. I have always wanted to work for NASA, and being a part of these research experiences are getting me one step closer to that NASA goal.
Yeah. And I just want to reiterate that portion that you said, Miguel, where building that community of support is so important. So again, like, I think it is the people around you that really support you. They will kind of nudge you to go places and, continue building that confidence, because you do have the potential. So you have shared so many, great pieces of advice through our conversation today, Miguel. But just to kind of wrap up this portion of our chat, I want to ask, is there any other advice that you would give a high school student who, would like to enter a STEM profession or, enter a field like engineering like yourself?
Well, I would say follow your passion. And I know this sounds cliche, but really follow your passion, because that is what I hesitated to do in El Salvador. I know I wouldn't have been miserable if I decided to pursue a path in accounting, but I would not be as happy as I am now pursuing the physics degree, which is indeed my passion. And don't just do what your parents or your peers want you to do or say will make you a lot of money. You will get paid up for any job that you do. So make sure you enjoy it and that you can look forward to going to work every day. With hard work and determination, you will make good money in whatever career you choose to go. And if money is really what motivates you, pursue a PhD in what interests you and invest in your future career at the same time as your happiness. Additionally, join clubs that connect you with the community. I am a part, as I mentioned, of the Latinx club here in Berkeley that has helped me feel at home in this university. The physics departments have historically been very far from diversity and not very inclusive. So this club, in this club, we try to keep motivated and bring Latinx representation to the field. Another piece of advice is to really build that community of support. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for my community of support, consisting of my mentors, my friends, my teachers, who have been there to guide me and help me to continue going when I'm down and supporting me when I need it. It's also important to have that network of people who will get you to the next level in your professional career and your personal life as well. For example, this professor at UC Santa Cruz connected me with the director of Cal Nerds, which is another club that I'm involved here in Berkeley, where you can go to study. There's funding for grants and scholarships, professional support, and just another community of support. If I wouldn't have met this professor at UC Santa Cruz, I wouldn't have had this connection and the opportunity to keep advancing in my career. So make an effort to really connect with your professors and peers as well, and build intentional relationships that will help in your future. And lastly, just be yourself and enjoy your academic journey.
Wow. That was all really, really great pieces of advice, Miguel. I want to thank you again for, sharing about your experiences, giving really intentional advice to our high school students. And really, you are an outstanding scholar and really an inspiration to, Latinos that are really striving to build that path in engineering and STEM. So everybody, let's give him a round of applause. I just want to mention that we are going to be opening up for Q&A soon. So if you have any questions for Miguel, please feel free to type them now in the chat. We will be saying them out loud, or if you feel comfortable, you can also open your mic to ask Miguel those questions so that we can hear more about his journey. We'll give it 1 minute. We also have these great pictures that Miguel shared that we would love to show all of our students. He's had a lot of different experiences, from his research studies, and I'm not sure if anyone has any questions on that. He's been able to do so many things already in his academic journey.
Yes.
Miguel, if you want to maybe say a little bit about, all these different experiences you've had.
Yeah, for sure. So the first ones on the left, those are at the Green Bank Telescope. I'm on top of that. I think it was 350, if I'm correct, 350 feet above the ground. It's the largest steerable radio telescope on Earth. The other one next to it, it's also a radio telescope within the same Green Bank Observatory. And then the one on top, that it was when I was doing my presentation of the research that I did within this, the NRAO, the National Radio Astronomy Observatory. Then the two on the bottom ones, those are the SHIP conference, which is a conference for Hispanics in engineering. And so that was just a conference where lots of networking, connections with people in industry, maybe getting opportunities for applying to jobs, or information for grad school if I wanted to do a master's in engineering. And one of those events were also the SHIP Pride, which was an event to also acknowledge the fact that there's not a lot of representation of the LGBTQ plus community. And that was great to have as well. And then the last one on the top corner, right corner, that's just like the what is called like the little award recognition for the LAMAT program that I did in UC Santa Cruz.
Awesome. You've done so much. You're so involved, Miguel. Thank you for sharing a little bit about those experiences. I see in our chat that we do have some questions from LCPA. So Ms. Aguilar's class asked, how high was your high school GPA going into Berkeley?
So I did high school in El Salvador. And so, and the high school that I did in El Salvador, I did high school in El Salvador and then started the university in El Salvador. I did 2 years. But then when I came here and I started in community college, none of my work from the university transferred, so I had to start over. And then when I was in community college, well, I learned from my lesson of working full-time and having 5 classes. My grades really dropped for that year in El Salvador. So when I started community college here, I made sure to take a low load of classes. So I was able to better manage my time and do great in my classes at community college. So my GPA in community college, I think, was like 3.8 something. But it was really, really hard to keep that GPA while working and all that. But that was my community college.
Yeah, and you were balancing so many things. So I think that's amazing that you were able to, just make sure to build that and stay organized, because it takes a lot in order to.
Yeah, and then I also want to add one more thing. It's not always about the GPA, because yes, Berkeley is a very demanding school and there's a lot of people applying. But your GPA is not you. Like your GPA doesn't give you worth, and especially when applying to the UC campuses in general, it's a holistic application that they're not only going to look at your GPA, but they're also going to look at everything else that makes you. So your extracurriculars, like any kind of volunteering that you can do, any kind of projects that you have done as well, and even if you because even if you don't have time to do all that, maybe you have to take care of your younger siblings. That also is part of the things that you need to put in your application, because it takes time from you to be doing other things. And so don't stress too much about the GPA, but more on being like a full package and doing lots of other things so that you are better if your GPA is not very, very on the high end.
Yeah, like well-rounded, right? In all different
Yes.
aspects. I love that. And our next question, also students are wondering, what were the hardest classes that you have taken, and how did you succeed in them?
Well, so in general, calculus classes are hard, but then I had the advantage that I took the calculus classes in El Salvador. And so when I first took them in El Salvador, it was really tough. And I did not have very good grades. But then when I came here, I had to do everything again. And so I was already familiar with the concept, so I did better. But I think just as a general advice for hard classes is go to office hours for the professors. Like when you transfer, either when you go to community college or directly into the 4-year, go to office hours and really get the help from your professor. Go to tutoring sessions, get the help from your other peers that are in the class or tutors that have gone through those classes and know how to manage the course load. Get all the help that you can get from tutoring, office hours, other peers, and you will do great.
Excellent advice. And I also want to mention Melissa's comment, don't count yourself out when thinking or applying to competitive schools. So like Miguel mentioned, self-doubt is really prevalent, but if you really know you have that potential, don't count yourself out and you just apply. And so our next question is from Raquel. She asks, when you came to the US, did you speak English already, or did you learn the English once you got here? And what helped you become English proficient and fully bilingual?
Yeah, so I started learning English in El Salvador. When I started the university, I also joined a program within the university to learn English. That was for about a year and a half. And then when I started working, you have the benefits, pros and cons. So yeah, it was hard working and everything. But then my job, I worked at a movie theater, and that movie theater had a partnership with an academy of languages. And so I was able to study English at an academy totally for free because of my job. And so that was another year and a half probably. And then what really improved my English, I think, was working for about 3 months before coming to the US in a call center in El Salvador. So I was taking calls from people here in the US, from one of the television companies. And that really exposed me to the language. And then when I came here, just really being immersed in society and having to speak with everyone in English, that's what has been improving my English. And I still need to improve a lot. There's a lot of vocabulary that I need to learn and everything. But yeah, that's how I learned.
Thank you, Miguel. And not sure if anyone else has any more questions. We might have room for one more if there's any students or maybe a teacher that has any question that they would like to answer before we get off the call. But I just want to say again, thank you again, Miguel, for sharing a little bit about your journey with us. I think we all got a lot of really great advice. Some of the things that really stood out to me was when you mentioned, really follow your passion, because no matter how much, if it's making you a lot of money, if it's really something that you like to do, you will, with the hard work and dedication, you will get paid what you're supposed to get paid. And also really building that network of support. Oh, go ahead, Raquel.
You have a hand raised, I think, Mr. Hightower.
Oh, yes, please. Let's go ahead and.
Sorry, I think I might have clicked the hand by mistake. I was trying to click the applause button.
Oh, no worries. I love that though. Well, if no one has any other questions, please, yes, let's give Miguel a round of applause. I think, he's given a lot of amazing advice today, and we really appreciate you coming out and, saying a couple of words to our high school students here for our TFHE community. I just want to wrap it up again and also thank TFHE, Raquel, Angel, thank you again for always collaborating with us. We look forward to our March STEM for Success chat.
Yes.
And if anyone else has any advice or things that they want to look forward to next for our next conversation, feel free to let us know. We'll include our post survey again in the chat. But thank you again, everyone. We will also be uploading Miguel's video recording onto YouTube so that in case anyone missed it, you can go ahead and reshare it in the future. But we appreciate
Yes.
you all, and we hope that you have an amazing rest of the day.